business in the public? Yeah, there is none except for Ian. And approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Warning article for the town meeting. It's going to be a 2-year thing, right? The article is to add another member to the...
Another JP.
Yeah, another JP. Yeah, thank you. And I think it's going to be, it'd have to be a 2-year thing, right?
You mean you have to wait 2 years because we don't have a general election for 2 years?
Right, yeah, I mean, it's, yeah.
I would think so.
Well, okay.
Yeah, because we don't,
You don't appoint.
Because we're not going to have a
we can't
special...
appoint, can we?
That's an elected position.
Yeah, right.
So they'd have to okay it town meeting day and then next year.
And then next year it'd go on the ballot.
Yeah, and, well, the next year that it could go on the ballot would be 2014.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
At the next town meeting day.
yeah.
So you can create the office, but you can't.
Appoint.
You
We
can-
should just check that
I
out.
was going to say.
I think
I have Don's email. It just
Okay.
I don't know, I mean, they're thinking having a 10th one is going to help
Well,
attendance, but
I think if we have more counters who are volunteers, that's great.
If our numbers in this town
Warrant it.
warrant it, we should have.
oh yeah, no, I'm not interested in
It's not going to
anyway.
make for longer meetings, as you were afraid would be the case for select board additional members.
Yes. I'm quite glad about those long meetings.
Wow.
I guess I told you I'm doing a Grange meeting the 3rd of January, I'm the master.
We heard that before.
So, does someone want to move that?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we place on the warning an article to increase the number of justices of the peace from 9 to 10, since we have that ability to, because of the size of our town.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that will be voted on at town meeting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
To become effective for the next general election.
Yeah.
Okay.
Select board article for the town report. You write it up and Ann last
Katie and I had a really good idea.
Uh-oh.
We thought that maybe it was Troy and Dick's turn to at least draft a list of items you would like to cover in it.
You really want me to do that?
It's
You're
just
not gonna write it.
items.
I'll go write
It's
it.
just items. It's like
It's
a
just
bullet
items. You
pointed.
just go through the minutes from the last year and say these are the items.
And
we need to
it's
cover.
not
Then
to
you
be
know,
done
add
right
18
now.
to it anyway.
Oh, that would not be good for the voters of Guilford to see that.
What do you think?
Yeah, we can do
There
that.
was a lot that went on in Guilford.
Yeah, a ton.
Yes.
We can do that.
All you have to do is bullet things that you'd like it to be to touch on.
And I would be more than happy to give you my
You're
stack
gonna
of
have to.
select board meeting minutes. Or
Or the
you can
one
go on.
line together.
Okay.
I mean, last year Ann and I had a ball talking about Katie's work. But I mean,
Was that what you got?
No,
No, it
that's
wasn't.
not what happened.
No.
I did it and we
No,
chopped
I
it.
didn't. Was it?
I do it every year.
You guys chopped down.
oh,
That
it was
was-
a 50 article, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
It was another thing. It wasn't the article
Yeah.
for the town report.
No.
You and I did that one last year,
Yeah, we
and the
did.
year before,
I think-
and the year before.
I did it 1 year and now let me do it again. About that long.
All right, so you just get some items. You don't have to do any like, sentence construction or any of that stuff. Just things that we think we should mention.
Okay.
And then we'll add to it.
We can do that.
I figured that one. I mean, I can write it, but it won't have the right.
I get it but one word, downhill, the library, yeah. No.
Letter, duck dumpster. Moving it along.
Did you think?
Oh, okay.
I just said duck dumpster. I meant duck dumpster.
I didn't ever think about that. Dumpster. This is a gentleman that sent us almonds, which none of us, I mean, some of us didn't get to any of, and a check for $100 to donate to the 250th organization, which is done and over with, so we decided to send it on to the library.
And we made a motion and everything about that last time, so this is
Yes.
really just you signing the letter.
It's just a
I
matter
don't
of
even think we
signing.
need a motion.
I don't think so either.
So, all right. That's what that is.
So do we need to, we don't need a motion. Dick just needs to sign it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
The water line, the punch list items.
Yes, we got emailed. Hang on, I'm behind here, sorry. Did you guys actually want to sign
Who's
this?
that?
Minutes.
What is that letter saying?
Well, I have to put on mine. Did you? Already? Did I take up them?
Just after early.
There was a list of punch list items, I think that, did Brett send to all of us, or did I forward it on to all of you?
I think you forwarded
I
it
forwarded them,
to Brooke.
of some items that we completed in the spring. There was one topic that was a bit of
Contention.
contention, yes, that we're trying to resolve, and that is the way the area is laid out by the hydrant near the meter vault there. That,
Up by D&E.
Yeah.
correct. That Tom Howick's understanding of what Brett was asking him didn't comply with the plans. So he sent a letter to Ann. On November 20th, 2012, I was at the Guilford job and laid out the hydrant apron at, he references the hydrant, according to Plan Sheet 5 of 15. The plan calls for 10 feet of gravel shoulder with a 3-to-1 slope. The stakes I installed show a 10-foot shoulder and an additional 9 feet of 3-to-1 slope, which is exactly what we installed. If the gravel area was to be larger or filled extended further out, it should have been drawn that way. I feel we have completed the hydrant area per plans and as we had bid. I pretty much have said to Brett, can we get a resolution on this and figure out what's what?
Brad would be the one to respond to that.
Absolutely.
And what did he say?
Nothing yet.
And that was in November?
No. He misquoted the date. It was December.
Yeah.
Which is,
Okay.
he was here last week.
Right, okay. And you're saying that Tom Halleck sent that letter to me?
He sent it to you on December 24th.
Oh, okay, good. You didn't email
It came here.
Yeah, thank you.
We got a fax of it, and then it was mailed here.
Yeah.
So I emailed Brett and said, can we resolve this? And they also received the letter.
And
So.
looking at it the way it is, ugly. I think his contention that he's within the plan is one thing, but it definitely needs some more work done on it to
That's the one that's sitting
sit way up to the right.
way up
sticking
with
out.
the
Yeah.
rock sticking out, and then the other one's
Way
way
down.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fire department wants that one raised.
I don't
badly.
blame them there.
And we've
That's
kind
a
of
safety
been-
issue. If you've got to hook up to that, somebody's got to go down that slope.
Well, just also too in terms of maintaining it with snow.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
going to get
It's
plowed.
going to get buried.
Yeah. So we've kind of been,
So the question is this a problem with the plans or a problem with the execution of the plans?
trying to figure all that out.
Okay, need to figure that out.
Yeah.
All right. And is there anything else on the punch list that's a
No,
problem?
just some spring tidy up items.
And Halleck will do those?
I think so.
And in terms of permit and allocation and all of those, the process aside from
In
this
place.
in place, so people at this point can hook up?
They can apply for a permit.
Okay, and some people have, correct?
Yep, the process has started. We're trying to determine if there hasn't been clarification in terms of if you're a single-family residence, if you need a permit to connect to the
Right.
water line. The state requires that you have a permit for commercial properties and public buildings. And the argument is that Brattleboro doesn't get permits when they connect people. But Brattleboro could be under a different blanket guideline that when their water system went in, they could have had a whole different process that they might not need to follow that we may need to.
So why is this even an issue? Why don't we know this? Because we just need to ask the right person?
Yeah, who's on vacation?
Okay, got it.
So, and I had asked Brad, I said, well, what, he goes, you'll get a different answer depending upon who you ask. I said, well, who cares who we ask? Let's ask the state. They're the ones granting the permit. And if they say we need a permit, then guess what?
You need
They
to
need to have a permit.
You need to have somebody that's going to have the
I
final
can't
say.
believe, frankly, that we do, but that's just...
I can't believe that we don't.
Okay.
To connect into this piece of infrastructure, I'm shocked that you wouldn't need a permit for that. You need one to connect to the wastewater system. Why wouldn't you need one to connect to the water system? You're really compromising in an even greater way drinkable water,
And have
potable
people
water.
been asking for permit applications?
Not yet.
Because they'll
Not
wait till
yet.
the
This is
meeting
more
on the 3rd?
proactive than
Yeah, okay,
reactive,
cool.
yeah. So I would like to have all of those questions answered. And Brad's thinking that you do need a permit. And I said, well, do you have to go through this whole engineering thing? Or what sort of design would be acceptable to the state? A sketch? Does it have to be a certified engineer? Who is the right party? And he said it has to be a site tech. So not a certified engineer, but there needs to be a design. And my question was, the design that he's done for the town for feasibility, for connections, would the state accept that? So that people don't have to go out and spend more. It's just layers of cost that if we can strip them down as much as we can, that it would be good to do that. So it's just getting those questions answered. So I'll wait until the guy's back from hopefully tomorrow. So that's kind of where we're at.
That meeting's the 3rd?
Yes, 5 o'clock. And we have to be done at 6. Because I just got an email saying that the fire station has some training that night at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Grudge meeting doesn't start till 7.
That's about 1, that's at 6.
It can't beat his meal usually.
Yeah.
And actually, I have another meeting that night at 6:30 too, so.
I can multitask.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
The younger you get, the better the moment.
Yeah, piece of cake, yeah.
So that's the water line in a nutshell.
Covered bridge. Any news on that?
We're starting back in the thick of it. We've had a conference call with the engineer, and we've pulled together all of the, kind of like put everything back on the front burner to try and remember what the heck we were doing.
Yeah, I was going to correct that statement you made about starting in the thick of it. We never got to the thick of it.
No.
When Irene
No,
came
so we kind of got back
Okay.
on track for that, and are putting all the pieces, because we kind of left off before we even knew we had the second grant.
Yeah.
So now we are putting together the pieces that were components of the second grant and talk to the engineering firm to have them come back.
Is there any way that damaged wing wall, the northeast corner, back toward the church, could be,
And collapsed?
yeah. Anyway, that's going to have to come out of the town pocket.
Yeah, because,
You're talking not the one with the sinkhole, there's another one?
no, it's
That's
the
on the other
other
side. I'm talking
one.
about the one on the
It's the
other
old
side.
mill wall,
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
because it's not town property,
Mm-hmm.
and it couldn't be funded. Do I?
No, I just,
I have a sugar beard, sorry. Sorry. I
We're
hate that.
punchy tonight.
They're so holiday head. No, it's private property, despite how hard we tried to. But this is kind of, it's unrelated but sort of related, kind of begs the bigger question that moving forward in the future, does it make sense for us to have that area deeded to the town?
that is presently owned by Preservation, Green River
Green River
Preservation.
Village Preservation Trust, not all of it, the parts that directly affect the bridge, so the wing walls and that. So if we had it surveyed and saw, I just think that if we, what?
Nothing.
It's not a taxpayer issue because that's a tax exempt property anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So from a logistic standpoint, that whenever there's damage, it slides right into our claim versus it being deteriorated over time.
What's your concern about that?
You don't want the
Yeah,
bridge.
'cause I just-
I don't want that bridge. I would love to see that bridge put into preservation as a walking bridge or something like that, and put a new bridge,
But-
put a new
Oh, I
bridge
don't
in.
think it's an either-or
But even
situation.
so, you got to protect.
Well, I know we got to fix it. I mean, plain and simple, we got to fix it before it ends up.
Well, and protect it.
Yeah.
Really is what it's about.
Yeah.
More than anything, the more you protect those walls,
Yeah.
which is,
I don't think you have any disagreement from anybody
Yeah.
on this board about that. I
Yeah.
think that
the ideal
the fact of the matter
situation.
is that regardless of if we build a new bridge or not, in order to maintain that bridge, it would be easier for the town, we'd be more eligible for grants if the wing walls in that area
Absolutely.
were on town property.
And if that wall, it would have been covered under a FEMA claim.
That's right.
And we would have had so much help because it was part of a historic bill. Nothing we
So
could
what would be
do.
the process to pursue that?
I don't know, if you were supportive of it, I was going to look into it. I think probably having it
Actually,
surveyed.
now, is that belong to the Preservation Trust?
In
They
the
could
village
just flat deed it?
But they'd have to section it, because
Yeah.
we don't want the dam.
No, we don't.
No.
No,
Well,
that's a huge.
because the walk went on, and it's a little bit
We'll
off
support
track.
and partner with, but for
Yeah.
us to own the dam, I think our insurance
There was
company.
a 30-acre piece on Campbell Road out in there, well, 3,600 feet. The guy owned 30 acres, he deeded it to the town, just a flat-out deed, and the town turned around and sold it back in the mid-1800s. So, I mean, yeah, they could do it.
Yeah,
They
we
could
have to
just
section it, though.
section it off and do a flat and straight deed.
So in that case, it would need some kind of surveying.
It has to
To
be
know
surveyed.
exactly what
I
was.
think so.
One day it would be.
And so it could.
So what would happen is you would have to contact Green River Preservation.
Yep, and their board would need to.
I think it's a great
entertain the
idea personally, because I think it does make us more eligible for.
And it
some
would
support.
eliminate all of these questions, even still too. With this project, we are trying to, there's the engineering firm's like, well, that access road that you put in, I go, well, we didn't put it in. Down
Oh, yeah.
where
Yeah.
the Minot's put in to do the fish ladder there, like, is that your property or not? Because if not, we're gonna have to get a right of way. And I'm like, it's town property. Like, it's gotta be.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion that we authorize Katie to at least explore what would be involved in the town taking over the property that has the abutments or wing walls for the Green River Bridge.
Yeah, is that, even if that, which is the plan down the road,
Definitely.
to replace that bridge, which you're still gonna
Right,
take care of
I
that.
realize that.
Yeah,
I second your motion.
yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Highway, I would presume the guys are sleeping, got all the trucks back, all the wings are on, all the plows are on. They hauled sand today,
They're ready.
they're ready.
Good. I was ready. Great.
Yeah. Warrants.
I would like to make the following motions that we pay payroll for 12/16/12 for $11,262.93. Payroll for 12/23/12 for $7,972.94. Total of payroll for $19,235.87. Warrant number 11 for $13,096.50. For a total of expenses of $32,332.37.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Guilford Gazette wants some information.
They want to know if we have a submission. Deadline is for January 24th. I didn't know if we had anything
Yeah.
that was a issue that we wanted to.
Water line?
I don't even know if the water line is, because by the time it's out, it's kind of, we're already in the thick of it.
Okay.
I don't know if this is.
Is it,
What do we think about writing an article trying to incite people to become more involved in town government? That, I don't know, showing some statistics, if we do a little research to say, look, we have,
I think we have to be more specific about ways to be involved in town government.
yeah.
Like
And then last year at town meeting, they had the thing out, sign up for,
various commissions, committees, appointed things.
I don't know, giving them like a town government 101, saying, did you know that we're a volunteer run town and that we have committees and commissions that need people to volunteer to keep, local government running. If you like having local control, then get out and participate. If not, you're going to give it up.
I think that's a really good idea. I think we would need to write it in an engaging way, otherwise it would be a
Sure.
blah, 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 I'm not looking at it,
Right.
kind of thing. The town government, involve yourself. I think people listen when we talk to them about that at town meeting, but,
yeah.
That's the only thing I don't know what else we would.
I mean, a lot of people, what we appoint and stuff like that, they've been on there a while, and some of them are getting, sorry to say this, but tired and older.
The
You know
planning-
what I'm saying?
We have very senior
We
members.
do,
Yeah, we
we
do.
do.
In
And,
tenure
I mean,
and
if we
age.
if we don't start getting some younger people involved,
Right.
some of it may go by the wayside.
Right now, we need 5 members for the planning commission.
For example.
For example,
Yeah.
and we need a Wyndham Regional
Commission,
rep.
commissioner.
Yeah, so, yeah.
All right, yeah.
I was,
No, I think that's good. I can't think of anything else.
We're running so smooth that
Did we want to do everything to introduce Peter? How long? It's too long. We've run through a number of kids. That's,
yeah.
was he,
I mean, he's been with us for a while.
Since May.
Since May. I just didn't know if people.
He's kind of shy too.
so no, that might be something, yeah. I was trying to think if he came out in May, yeah, a lot of people don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we might, that might.
Right, like some people just come in here once a year.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly. So I think
October
that's introduce
timeframe.
Peter, and
Yeah.
I think that might be just a little blurb, even though he is kind of shy.
Well, he is, but there's a tie-in there as well to the come out and Peter was introduced to the town of Guilford through his volunteerism
Planning commission.
in town government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might think he's a new face, but he's actually an old kid on the block.
He's
This is a new one.
also volunteered to be the local EMD rep to help her to plan Category 2
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Great.
event in 2014. So,
That's where we get to put Dick on a stretcher and
Practice.
practice.
That's a good idea, Katie. Good brainstorming.
It just kind of came sitting right here. I thought into it. But sure, thanks.
hello, water contract, what's this?
Oh, that's the letter that I actually
That's
already read.
covered that, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
sorry.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
addressed to me.
It is addressed to you.
What's that one?
Which?
Oh,
This is your one you can keep if you like.
Oh, that's okay. Actually, I got my whole water line told off.
Okay.
what's that one with my name on?
That's the Gazette that we just talked about.
So this really hasn't even been.
Oh, that one I came from.
This hasn't even been brought to Brad's attention yet.
He was copied on it.
Okay.
And I referenced it in an email.
Okay, good.
So I think he does know.
Okay.
So we were copied on a letter to Agency of Natural Resources from Wyndham Solid Waste Management District, doing a pretty nice job of citing all of the different points that they talked about for Act 148. Do you know about this?
I
surprised
know
you
about
don't
the act, but
Okay. I mean, I can scan it and email it to you guys if you'd like to read it more, but it's really bringing to Agency of Natural Resources attention the fact that they're requiring a lot of towns and of solid waste districts that there just isn't funding for. And they're saying, can we come up with some other strategy here to accomplish the same goal in maybe a more stretched out timeline so that it's more
Yeah.
thought out?
The onus of that is on the solid waste, and they have to pass it on to the town, as I
Yeah.
understood that act, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I thought this was an interesting paragraph in this whole letter. It says, unlike many other solid waste districts, Wyndham Solid Waste Management does not have a licensing program and registration fees for haulers, nor does district manage trash from the haulers. Therefore, there is no existing mechanism for the district to enforce the mandates of Act 148 and this MMP on the haulers.
like I said, when I went to that meeting on this Act 148, I was like, by 9:30, my eyes was going across because it was so much stuff
So
compacted
complicated, yeah.
and stuff like that. And, I got to give our other rep just kudos for going there.
Uh-huh.
I do.
It seems reactionary.
I just think it's too much too soon, and I think they're gonna work their way through it probably.
Maybe too much too late.
Well, either way, but I mean, it's too
Yeah.
much all at one time.
Yes.
And I sort of understood from the meeting that they're gonna work their way through it. It's sort of a trail thing now,
Right.
and it's sure it's gonna get stronger, but, yeah.
And they had to it's a materials management plan, and that's what the M&P is. And they had some, recommendations for standards that they put together, so it's kind of interesting. And then the last piece is the proposed budget and the town assessment for women solid waste management.
That was for this year.
25,459, maybe $1,000 more than last year. It's not too
25
bad.
what?
451.
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah,
That-
we were 24,9.
Yeah.
It's probably not even
It's not
$500
even
more.
$600 more.
Yeah.
And I think that part of that help is, I guess now aluminum is like one of the cans, but I mean, I think they took $26,000.
Yeah, they took a lot of stuff.
And that's all. That's why you get out and you see these people that are grabbing stuff out of there, you tell them, we're not stealing it. Actually, you are, you're stealing from town because that comes off the towns.
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
Ain't been too many people throwing a lot of crap down there and digging through the place since they're putting signs and the cameras up down there.
And I know it sounds nuts, but with the Gulf sign down, it feels so much more open there.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, that's my perception of it. So, do we want to just briefly talk about budget?
Yeah.
And maybe pick a day
Yeah.
next week for us to...
Yes. And what are we waiting for in terms of information?
Well, I was waiting for some of this stuff to come in.
And some
go to
stuff
the-
from Neil, you said, in terms of, you had talked earlier about,
That's more for compiling the town report,
Okay.
just in terms of the deadline of which we would be
Okay.
done by. We should talk about warning articles if we have anything specific that we'd want to include aside from the JP one.
that's what I was thinking about.
No, I have some insurance figures I could start to work on. So that's going to be interesting.
See, we don't have one much warning article, do we?
We don't have any.
So if we look at next week,
That's the first.
Tuesday is the first, so Wednesday would be your first day back at school.
Yeah, I can't make it during the day.
There's the 31st.
Then you gotta get
It's
lined up
New Year's
for
Eve.
Yeah. The 4th. Are Fridays a
The
possibility?
first week back is
It's tough.
screwy for me.
Okay.
Oh, well,
I mean, I could do Monday or Tuesday of next week, but
Well, Monday and Tuesday next week are New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
yeah, I know.
how about,
So I'm not coming in on New Year's Day.
how about we come in early following Monday
Monday?
for a select board meeting?
Oh, that's
Well, it's
fine.
I don't like doing that, but I mean. if
The
we-
7th, he's
It's
talking
not
about.
select board meeting.
Oh, it's not till the 14th, that's
It's not
right.
till the 14th.
Well, how about we come in for
On
the
the
7th?
Yeah.
What time?
I mean, we're getting
6:30? I mean, why not, seriously?
6:30, AM or PM?
Yeah.
AM would be great. I mean, I'm driving right by here.
Are you kidding? It's like, wow. So at night,
I said with a total straight face. I would,
can we do the early morning?
I could do the early morning, that would
Could
be
you do
fun.
early morning?
6:30?
Monday?
No.
No, 6:30.
I will talk to any of you at 6:30. I'll get tons done, but I will open my
What time?
mouth.
8 o'clock,
7:30?
7:30.
As it gets a whole lot later, I'll have Eli, but I can get coverage early because he doesn't.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
fine with early, only because if I don't have to leave the kids, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get that, that's fine. Okay, so budget 7:30? Gosh, we're all gonna be so grouchy with each other.
No, we're not, because we're doing coffee.
Yes, 7:30 to 7.
7:30 a.m. on the 7th.
No more baking.
No more baking, exactly,
Okay,
I'm with you.
well then
Yeah.
let's just drink lots of coffee.
Oh, I will
And
be
you can
trying.
smoke cigarettes for us, how's that?
I don't smoke. What are you talking about, Miss
He's
Buckley?
totally quit for a long time.
That's right.
Okay, sorry.
We'll have grapefruit.
Oh.
Can you stretch up on the record, please? Thanks a lot, Kate. You just buried me in the gutter.
All right.
Let me get my 40 out of my pocket.
Wait a second. How would I know?
Okay, so,
Okay.
done. Okay, great. Do we anticipate that we're going to need another budget meeting after that? Okay. I would just like to make a proposal that if we do, for any reason, need another budget meeting after that, It'd be sometime during the week of the 21st. Is that too late?
Maybe.
I think what we need to do is,
Here's what we can do. I can PDF a budget. Whatever we have that we're looking at, I'll just send it
Wherever I am.
wherever you are.
Okay.
If you want to either print it or we participate.
Okay. And you've got my... Okay, good. That's all I was checking about.
We've been using that stamp a lot.
I think I know that.
So my
Where's Ann?
budget questions were more in terms of process and protocol than anything else. Like, are we going to keep the capital number as a separate article this year, or are we going to include it in the budget?
I'd like to include it in the budget.
I think there are certain things that we keep out that don't make sense to keep them out.
I'd say the Green River Bridge that you talked about that we kept out in the capital budget, that are things that are ongoing expenses should not be separate articles.
Green River Bridge should be though. That's not going to be a forever article.
It's not going to be forever,
No,
but
But it's a budget item that we need to cover.
It might. I mean, if we start planning on a new bridge, we're gonna have to put it somewhere.
Yeah.
That'll be separate though.
It's
it's
just,
a bridge fund.
it's a bridge fund.
That's a bridge fund.
Like,
If we
I
got rid of the
think that,
special article for Green River Bridge and money were put in the bridge fund, that could, you could,
like, I think in the highway budget, you know how Dan put $25,000 for his bridge project? I think that should be a $25,000 transfer to bridge fund. So in the years that we don't have a bridge project, that money's still protected and it goes to the bridge fund.
which would eventually
Right.
be used.
Yeah, and that's,
Which builds itself, but it protects that chunk of money in that budget to go to that specific purpose
Yeah.
versus becoming a slush fund in the total budget.
because the Green River Bridge is
And lost at year end.
is a special article, however you look at it. I mean, whether it's repairing that one or building a new one, it's still going to be, I'm inclined to think that ought to be kept separate.
I'm
I'm not
sure.
going to jump up and down and say it's got to be, but I'm just...
No, no, I-
Wait a minute. The Bonneville Bridge wasn't a special.
That was a different thing. That's a different thing. We have to replace the bridge down there.
Oh, okay.
Over here, we're protecting a town
Okay,
historic
okay, I see
site,
what
et
you're
cetera, et
saying.
cetera.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying that, because it's coming under the historic umbrella,
Got it.
that it should be maybe kept separate.
You're talking about the actual covered bridge. So
Yes.
that
Yeah.
if we put money in the bridge fund towards some sort of sinking fund towards the eventual building of a new bridge, that would not be what you're talking about.
No, I'm just talking about the covered bridge itself as it stands now. Because it's under that historic umbrella.
What else is under the historic umbrella?
Pardon?
Nothing that we own. I guess my question is, when it was made a historic site, there's a requirement that we have to maintain it, I would imagine. And if that's the case, then,
Well, I think as it is now, it's, we have to maintain it because it's a town,
well, because it's
Public access,
right,
but
because
if
it's
it-
part of the
but-
town highway system,
but
but,
if it disappears from that, I
Do
would
we have to
question.
maintain it because it's historic? I see.
right,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying, do we need to, was there some arrangement that was made when it became a historic site that kind of tied the hands of the owner that it needed to be maintained?
That would require some bookwork to look and see what the original, when that, pretty much that whole village is under the historic umbrella.
It is, it's a historic district.
Yeah, that
Which the
whole
bridge
area
is
is
a part
down there,
of.
right?
That's why I'm wondering, what are the rules for that?
Yeah, so maybe that's something to look at before we take that,
Okay.
the bridge money out of there, yeah.
Right.
Other than that, the rest of it, go, it's just that one. Yeah,
General fund.
yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant down the river.
That's my
I'm
list.
like, you guys can say that in Brunswick, you know how I feel.
That's my
I
list.
will-
But I do think we ought to get together when the final budget is done and everything is set up, just to go over it. And
Oh, God, yeah.
maybe a little slice here, a little slice there, something we may have to do to make it.
Sure. Work on it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and if I need to be on phone or, in front of a computer.
I remember how you do that, coming back from the airplane one time, you said, you call when you get to the
What's the
airport.
time
Yeah.
difference?
It's, at this time of year, it's 5 hours.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Hawaii, see my stepson for a pretty brief visit.
Well,
Yeah.
I had somebody call me this morning and say he was going to Mexico for a couple of weeks. And I said, go, yeah, you can go with my escort. So I said, It sounded tempting, but
Yep. So we're gonna go visit both boys, both
Yeah.
sons,
Yeah.
so Tyler and then Ryder.
Yeah.
The little loop.
There you go.
Ryder hasn't been on in 2 years.
yeah, but we'll try to keep things under control. You know.
Try.
Yeah, we'll try.
You kidding? We'll just FaceTime you.
Mhm.
You kidding?
Anything else?
I make the
move that we
motion
adjourn.
adjourn.
Oh, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.